So we're talking about what happens if you have a multi-shift event, which obviously is complicated to set up. And the use case here is Stone Soup needing shifts for its Friday night meal preparation, and they having an external track it forward management site. So they want to be able to bring more people in case they don't have enough people signing up from their internal volunteers from Resilient Greenfield. How can we make that happen? You may have cases that aren't quite as complicated as this, but hopefully you'll still learn from it. So here's their track it forward page. This is something that allows you to see that they need food prep on April 11th, which you could then go and click on. Now, we're going to go and add an event from our admin platform on Resilient Greenfield's GivePulse. There's a Manage tab on the left, a blue Manage tab, and when you click on it, you get to see these other options if you are an admin. And we put in the basic info, which I just went and harvested from the Track It Forward app. We put in a picture, and then we say who the administrator is. So I can do this for you, and this means that if somebody does a registration, you'll get the information rather than I will. And now we want to say it's a volunteer event. I know there's also a thing called event, but event is something where people say they're going to come, but we're not giving them any credit for having done anything. So when the library uses this platform, they pick events a lot of the time. We're going to pretty much do volunteering because that's what we're up to here. This is where we see their Track It Forward page with the 4 shifts and how many people they have of the people that they need, and with the buttons to go and sign up. And because we're going to use their external app, people will have to get to this to sign up in order to be there. There's no way to say I'm going to register without signing up on this external thing. Okay, so they've said it's a volunteer app. We're saying that there are multiple occurrences because we've got shifts, and this is where we say there are shifts. Time slots is when you don't have specific shifts and you just say any hour within a period. And here are where I have set up the shifts to match those that were on Track It Forward. I'm going to get an email that says this, and that way I can change those shifts, and particularly I can say, well, we've got our 5 out of 5 and have that shift hidden from view. So that's really important. They are going to do their thing on Track It Forward, which means they're going to know when their shifts have been filled. That's not going to transfer over to GivePulse. That's why they have to use this to transfer it over. Whereas if we weren't using Track It Forward, if we were just using GivePulse, we would not need to do that. It would automatically stop showing things that are filled. So here's our registration settings. Most of these things you can see what their value is, but I haven't made any changes given what I'm trying to do for Stone Soup here. Things like event reminders are done through Track It Forward because that's where you complete the process. So I don't even need to click on this. Whether or not you want to allow minors, that allows you to add minors when you're registering. You're registering as the adult, and then you add other minors to it. That's handy if a school wants to go and do food prep together. And I could then reserve on behalf of that school. The key thing here is that we're doing an external registration because we're going to link to Track It Forward instead of process everything through GivePulse. Now, when we go to the Track It Forward page on Stone Soup, this area, you see where this scroll bar is? That's actually a iframe, meaning it's a view of another web page. The overall web page is this one here, and it's always going to be the same web page. So this isn't the one that we link to if we're creating an external event link. This is the one that we link to, which we then see is this. So this is the link to that particular day, that particular event, with those particular numbers at this time. So that's what we're going to go and put in to our external event link. When we make a new version of this, if we're ever going to make a copy and change it, we have to change that link. All this stuff is stuff that I'm just showing you. It's stuff that you go through when you make an event. And you could say, well, you know, where are you coming from? If the person was coming from Franklin County Community Co-op, they could say that that's where they're from. Whether or not I register, meaning whether or not I've gone through and clicked on a particular shift and said I want to go to that shift, is going to be handled by this button. So if I later then say, oh, you know what, I can't make that shift, this will go away and it'll then say not registered, which is what you want. But all these other things here, they're all pretty much handled by the external platform. So this is the only thing that I've accepted as a button that should show up on that event for people who are looking at it. I don't need any of this because all of the other form stuff, if I wanted it, would be handled on the external app. And now we click publish if we want to publish. But what if we don't? What if we just want to stage this thing and use it later for the time at which we might need it, which is the case here. Now, at the point to which we do publish it, this is what it will look like in our list of events. And when you click on it, you can click register. And then you'll be shown the shifts in a pop-up. And you pick which shift you want. When you click on a shift, it gets colored. And then you click next. Now, when you click next, you then have this opportunity to add minors, if you have minors, or just add yourself. And when you click next, now you have completed the registration once you click this button. And once that happens, an email goes out to the administrator so they know that somebody just signed up, which is good for them to know. But they still don't have something on the Track It Forward app. So even though they know that I just signed up through GivePulse, they're going to wait until it shows up on the Track It Forward app before they know that they've got somebody here. Now I'm going to get this email that allows it to add it to my calendar, which is very handy. That's one thing that GivePulse is good at, integrating with calendars. Anyway, let's say that we did not publish the event, but we're going to duplicate it, and we're going to wait until we need it before we duplicate it. So it's Wednesday. She knows that she needs some new food prep people on Friday. That's the moment at which she duplicates it, because she feels she's not going to get enough people through the Track It Forward app on Stone Soup's end. And then we know if we see something like this that it's really urgent, and that's why it's going to go into GivePulse. The changes that she needs to make are pretty tiny. First, she has to go and edit the shift dates, because now they're not going to be on April 11th anymore. They're going to be on whatever the new date is. And then she's going to change the external URL to be the page on GivePulse that has that stuff. And that's all. Once she does those two things and publishes, she's good to go. She's opening the event up to everybody on GivePulse, not just the people who are looking at it on Stone Soup. Also, if she does the thing that they do, which is to send an email out to people saying, you know, we need extra people on this event, and that email goes out to everybody who's on Track It Forward now, she could also send that email to all the people who joined Stone Soup on GivePulse, and that's another thing that is available to her using the GivePulse app.